There we are.
There we are. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Happy Thursday, ladies.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
So we're super excited tonight because we have one of my good girlfriends from so long ago. I met her when I first moved back to Maryland from New York and started working at Chevy Chase Bank years ago in the marketing department. And we've been the best of friends ever since. And I'm just super proud of her because she has just, I mean, she sets the bar high for not only giving of herself and really showing how to give back to your community, but she sets the bar high on everything that she does. This is my dear friend, Gloria Betts. And I'm sorry, let me take that back. This is my dear friend, Dr. Gloria Betts. As I said, since we've been friends, she has really set that bar high on achieving all of her goals. So I'm just really proud of her. She's coming tonight to share with us about her book that she's recently published and the process of publishing your story. So welcome, Gloria. And my other good girlfriends are going to introduce themselves before we get started. Regina, you ready to go?
I sure am. Hello, everyone. And we don't have our good girlfriend who says Happy Friday Eve.
Happy Friday.
So I'll just plug that in. And I am excited about this topic. I am also an author, so I'm excited to talk tonight and glad to be with the good girlfriends.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our virtual living room. I'm excited about tonight's topic. I always say that we are not experts. We are just good girlfriends sharing information and kicking it. This is particularly exciting for me because this is an area that I've not really explored. And so one of the things that I love about our conversations, our virtual living room conversations, is that we discuss a variety of topics, unique topics. And I'm so glad that we have Gloria here and Regina, one of our good girlfriends, to share their expertise in book writing, which is a wonderful skill. So I'm ready to get into our topic, and I just want to welcome new folks and welcome back our normal viewers.
Yes. We do have an expert in the house on the good girlfriends team, Regina. So excited to hear from both of you ladies. And I just have to ask a quick technical question from Regina, who also is our tech person.
Tech support.
I don't see, since we have the PowerPoint on this screen, I don't see all of us on the screen. So it looks like it's only showing the speaker. So how can we all be on this screen, or is that not possible?
It's possible.
Go to the top right hand corner where it says view.
Yeah.
And put side by side gallery.
It has it clicked. That's why I'm concerned, because it's on gallery now, but I only see me right now. I don't know. Well, Gloria, let's get started.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies, for having me here this evening. I'm very excited to share my story and my journey. So I'll just go ahead and get started with the PowerPoint. As you can see, my name is Gloria Betts, and my topic is from passion to publishing. I think one of the key things is that people want to write and publish their story or share their story. And then maybe once they get started, the hurdles that they may encounter or other things might come into the way, family commitments and things like that, then that goes on the back shelf. So one of my friends, Lisa Murray, came up with this tagline. I'm not going to take credit. She came up with the tagline. So you have to have a passion, to see you all the way through. So I will be honest, I did have my premise to build on to get this book published. So as Kara indicated, I do have a PhD. And my PhD is in public policy. And what I wrote on, my parents and myself and our heritage is from Sierra Leone in West Africa. So when I did my research for my dissertation, I wanted to give back to Sierra Leone. So I wrote on attracting and retaining qualified faculty for their community colleges. So that was my topic for the dissertation. And a lot of people, you know, by the time you're done writing that dissertation, you're so exhausted and so drained, you don't want to do any more writing. And maybe about a year or 18 months after, one of my in-laws said to me, you cannot let your dissertation go to waste. And I was like, oh, here we go. So he said to me, build on it, because I really didn't want to go back to the drawing board and do any more research. He says, you don't have to do new research. You have a topic, just find something that would complement. And so what I came up with in terms of complementing was solar energy for Africa, because that's one of the largest challenges in terms of power or electricity, and that's an economic hindrance to the growth of that continent. You know, a lot of natural resources, a lot of capital resources, human resources, but if you don't have the power or the energy to keep your business running, it's for naught, you know, it's mute. So as you can see here, my dissertation title is there. And then I ended up coining that with community colleges, because we are moving to a solar or renewable energy age, even in the US. I'm not sure whether you guys know this, but California, I believe January 1st, 2020, it was mandated that all new construction had to have a solar element to it. So be it a house or be it a business, they had to have a solar energy component to it. So even the US and other Western countries are moving to that path. So my book is Community Colleges and Solar Energy Can Sustain Africa's Economy. So I was happy that Amazon had a self-publishing kit, because another deterrent for authors is that when you go to one of these powerhouses, if your manuscript is not accepted, what is your alternative? Prior to Amazon, there were probably little or no alternatives, but Amazon has made it sort of easy for authors to now self-publish. So some of the benefits of using Amazon's self-publishing platform is that there are no upfront costs, okay? You can publish quickly, they do most of the heavy lifting, and they're publishing or printing on demand. So you don't have to put in a request for 50 books. And then, you know, if all else fails, you've only sold 25 or 30, what do you do with the remaining books? So Amazon does the publishing on demand, which is a good concept. And their platform gives you access to millions of customers. And as I'm going along, if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay, but that's good information. That's really cool. I didn't even realize that. Through Amazon.
So when you're publishing, you can have print, Kindle, or audio. And the concepts are different for each one of those. You know, the way you're going to load up your files for printing is different from the Kindle version and also different from the audio version. So what I did was I did print first. I do have the Kindle version, but I haven't set that to go live yet or public. I wanted the print version to be out first. And then maybe in the next 90 days, I'll do the Kindle version. And part of the reason why I opted to have both is that Amazon, even though they're in a lot of countries worldwide, there is still a region, or there's still regions that don't have Amazon. You know, when you think of the continent of Africa, and when you think of some of the Caribbean countries, they don't have access to the Amazon platform for delivery. So those countries would be better served with the Kindle version. So when a friend of mine told me that, oh, you can self-publish on Amazon, it's so easy, I took it literally. So I got my manuscript together and I said, okay, it's going to be super easy. Let me load this manuscript. What is so easy? I guess everybody's idea of so easy is different. Needless to say, that when I went to load the manuscript, in my opinion of easy, it wasn't so easy. But there again, Amazon has the tools for you on their website. The first challenge that I encountered was the cover of the book had to be a separate file and it had to be a separate format. And I'm not sure, Kara, if you remember, I had a photo that I wanted to be the on the book cover, and I even sent it to Andre to help out a little bit. So I said, okay, you know what, this is not working. And then there was a little button that said, okay, if you're having challenges uploading your manuscript, we do have tools and resources that you can, use. And for uploading the book, there were 4 companies that were, that Amazon had put there for you to contact, in case you encountered any of these challenges. So then I reached out to one of the companies. So let me see here. Maybe I should talk about that first. Well, let me go with this slide. And then I'll come back to the publishing aspect. So once you've loaded your manuscript, Amazon also provides tools that people can easily search for your book or a book that would match what they're looking for, what that person is looking for. So you have a list of keywords, different categories. Definitely you have to put in your bank account information and then your legal name, your tax ID and things like that, I guess, for royalties purposes, okay? So to print with the the KDP platform, which is what Amazon is calling their platform, you have to create an account, which is, you can use the same username and password as your regular Amazon account that you use to purchase your items, but you do have to set up an account in this platform. And then you do the Kindle Direct Publishing account. Then you can add the title and description of your book. And then I guess you prepare your manuscript. At that point, you can submit the manuscript, provide the different categories, get your approval, and then your book goes live. So as I mentioned earlier, I was having some challenges with the cover of the book for it to meet Amazon's guidelines. So what I did was, at that time, I sent out my manuscript to the 4 companies that Amazon had recommended, and all 4 of them came back with prices. And I selected the company in India. So there was a company in India, there was 1 in the Philippines, and 2 in the US. The one in India was not the least expensive, but my parents have stayed in India. I've had some interaction. And if we call customer service, either you're having your phone issues or your credit card questions, a lot of times that customer service platform is in India. And just my experience with them has been a positive one. And I said, okay, let me just go with the folks in India. So they were able to convert my artwork for the cover of the book to meet Amazon's guidelines. And another thing I didn't realize at the time, that you had to create a spine for the book and the back cover. So that's an additional fee. So they did that for me. for an additional fee. And I felt as if they were very patient with me, because when you give the manuscript in a Word file, it has to be converted to a PDF file. And it's not always 100% conversion in the right format. So we had the back and forth of making sure that everything was laid out in a professional manner. And then that took about 3 months for me to get the final version to load up into Amazon's platform. I believe 1 or 2 of the companies would only give you like 2 or 3 tries. And during this process, I found out that that was not realistic, 2 or 3 changes. For me, that was not a realistic, having gone through the process, that's not realistic. So these are things that people need to look into. Do you want to go with a company who's going to give you only 1 or 2 revision opportunities, or do you want to go with somebody who's going to work with you until you get it right? And then you also have to, be a little bit compassionate and caring. You don't want to keep going a year later, you're still doing revisions. You have to, at some point, say, enough is enough. And, we're human beings. I don't think anything is ever going to be perfect. So you get your first book out there, and then you can revise and get your second edition out there. Okay. So once I was able to get everything in Amazon's platform, they did send me a notification saying that they were going to do some autocorrects and reference the pages. And when I took a look, most of those autocorrects was with my reference section. So it wasn't really a big deal. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, I was given the opportunity to make some minor edits and send back to the third-party vendor before we both agreed that, okay, this is good for publication. And then Amazon gives you the option of the type of paper stock, and then if you want it in black or white, or do you want it in color? And of course, color is a little bit more pricier than the other options. And another thing, because one of my friends had asked me, well, we sort of brainstormed as I was going through the process. I hadn't got to this bit yet. And he said to me, so what do you think is an affordable price to sell this book for? So we did some brainstorming, and I think we probably came up with about $20 to $30. And then once I launched on Amazon, they recommended a price for me, what I went with. Okay. Also, yes, as I mentioned earlier, Amazon gives different categories that, if somebody is doing research, they could find your book as one of the books to use for research. So I used community colleges, solar energy, and Africa for my search words. And who knows, maybe at some point in time, I'll go back and I can include some more words for a search engine. And so you have to, categorize or classify your book. Is it for adults? Is it for kids? Is it educational? And I selected all 3, because you have faculty, staff, students who could benefit from it. I selected kids, and in a minute, I'll tell you why. And then what else did I use? Adults. And it's like children friendly. So it wasn't an X-rated book or anything along those lines. Amazon came back and said, okay, we're gonna need 72 hours or longer to review your book. So if everything is okay, it's a shorter process. If they had some concerns, then of course it's a longer process. Fortunately for me, no concerns, and I got approval within 32 hours, and my book went live. So it was immediately available in the US for purchase. And then 3 to 5 days later, it was available in the UK, Canada, France, and, you know, the other international platforms. So now we're looking at the dollars and cents. I'm not sure if you go to one of the powerhouses, what royalty percentages you're looking at. I didn't do that research, quite honestly. But with Amazon, you get 60% and Amazon gets 40%. They don't do any marketing on your behalf. That's an additional fee. I opted not to have Amazon market the book for me. I'll leave it to you nice ladies to do the marketing for me. So even though you're getting 60% and they're getting 40%, for this particular book that I published, the base cost for Amazon to publish was about $13. And so this is what people don't understand. And even some people, when you publish, you say, oh, she's struck gold, she's like now independently wealthy. That's not the case. So if you are looking, if Amazon is charging you about $13 to publish the book, and then you're selling it at, let's say $25, the difference between what the 13 and the 25 is what, about $8? And then you're getting 60% of $8 and they're getting 40% of $8. So it's not as if you're getting 60% of the $25. And I think that is part of the misconception. You're not getting 60% of the $25. You're getting 60% of the profit, not of the revenue. Okay. So, you know, as I said, when I first went to launch my manuscript, it was a little bit confusing. It was not insurmountable because Amazon had the tools there for you, you know, to help you along the way. So yes, I do have the Kindle version ready to go, and I'll probably launch that in about, what, 60 days from now, because I've already had the book out for close to a month. So that's what I have. Once again, the book's title is Community Colleges and Solar Energy Can Sustain Africa's Economy. I do want to make, you know, thank Lisa Belmore, Lisa Murray, for helping me put the PowerPoint presentation together. And I also want to thank my niece, Jamila Kebe, for allowing me to use her solar energy experiment. And one of the reasons why I said this is good for children is because the complete experiment is in the book. So kids can purchase their own kit and maybe during the summer work with their parents to come up with a live solar panel so that they could either charge their cell phone or light up their bedroom lamp. And, you know, for kids in the Caribbean and Africa, this is something that they can do that would help them, you know, study and, you know, things like that, having the light in their bedroom. So that's all I have. And I'll take questions.
That was awesome. I have questions.
Awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I have questions.
Yes, ma'am.
So first of all, that was really awesome because, you know, I didn't even think about Amazon as far as publishing the book, but it seems like it was pretty affordable. I mean, I was trying to keep up with the cost, but it seemed like for less than like $500, you were able to publish your book. Was that about right? Less than?
Absolutely. Yes, correct. Yes, that was about right.
That's pretty, I mean, you know, seems like that's pretty affordable. And also it seemed like it only took from start to finish. It seemed like based on your timeline, maybe only a few months.
Correct. Once I was done with all the writing.
I'm gonna write a book this week and then publish it next week. I can't wait.
Well, you know, and I just want to jump in. There's lots of people that do that. They, self-publishing, and thank you for sharing so much, Gloria. I mean, I'm a self-publisher as well, and use the same platform. Self-publishing is very easy, very affordable, and allows you to get out there. Many people a lot of times think, oh, I got to get a publisher. I got to get somebody to believe in me. And you don't have to do any of that. So yeah, you can write a book in a weekend, Cara. You know what I mean? Like Gloria, she's like, after you write it, I was like, yes, Gloria, because it took me a long time to write it. But once you get it,
platform, Regina, that was one of my questions. So you use the same platform? I was wondering.
Absolutely, I use Kindle, but I used a there's a person that I use to format all of my stuff for Amazon. You know what I mean? The book cover, I used my famous photographer, Andre Dunstan, Epic Media Photography. That was the picture that I used. And then I had someone to create the cover. And then, and then I went from there, but somebody to format the book, the content of my writing, I had somebody to do that I paid to do that, that's familiar with that type of stuff.
Wow. I have a question about the profit. So let's go back there.
Okay.
So you said, Gloria, that you get 60% of the profit and not the revenue, or do I have it confused?
No, that's what I said. Yes, correct.
So it's the net profit. So it's the revenue minus the cost.
Right. And so then, so that's where and is that, if you had gone with the publishing house, would you have, a couple of things. If you had, what's the benefit? I mean, and I'm asking for myself, but also for folks that might be watching. What's the benefit of going self-publishing, financial benefit versus going through a publishing house?
So going through a publishing house, they might not accept your manuscript.
Okay.
So just this week in Essence Magazine, there was a write-up on Stacey Abrams. And I believe she mentioned that she had a manuscript that was rejected a couple of times. And then I'm not sure whether self-publishing was an option at the time. So maybe self-publishing is a new platform. So if you go to one of those powerhouses and your manuscript gets rejected, then there's nothing. So I didn't even go that route. I just went straight to the self-publishing.
But I wonder for folks that if their manuscript gets accepted, is it more profitable?
Yeah, I don't know, Gloria. I mean, I don't know, because I'm a self-publisher, you're a self-publisher. I'm not sure. I think with publishers, there may be a lot of upfront costs that they give you. So that's where you, like, so in other words, they give you maybe signing bonuses and all of that kind of stuff, that you get that up front.
Correct.
But that may not be that you get the revenue from the sales of the book. I don't know though, because I'm not.
Yeah. And also probably with the big publishers, you get the marketing machine behind them.
I was just going to say that too.
So
yeah.
As Gloria mentioned earlier, she's marketing her own book versus if your manuscript is accepted by a publisher, that means that they're putting their marketing resources typically behind you at what level, different levels, I'm sure, based on whatever. But at some point, they're going to provide some type of marketing resources for you.
Because they want the return on the investment that
Absolutely.
they have given you. So if they've given you $5,000,
right, they have to get
they want to get that $5,000 back.
Money back, right?
Right.
So,
Correct.
Yeah. So
that's right. You just need a good street team to help advertise your
I mean, and that Gloria,
exactly.
Like, I mean,
yeah.
I put mine out on Facebook. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know about you, Gloria, but I know that I've sold probably since my book has been out, which is 2019, I've probably sold 150 to 200 copies.
Okay, so
Gloria sold some before hers was even.
I think I've sold about.
We pre-ordered hers. I'll say we'll call it pre-order.
Yeah, we're gonna call it pre-order.
Yeah, but mine's been out for a while. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, I mean, right. So Gloria and I will receive just all that profit.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, we don't have to.
I just got my copy of Gloria's this week.
That's nice.
Yes, this picture is very nice. This is the one you were talking about, right, Gloria?
Correct. Yes. And so to add to my story, that picture was taken in Sierra Leone by my stepfather. And I think, you know, Regina, when you were saying that Andre did yours, it was because I already had the photograph, it was sort of hard for him to get it into the Amazon format. If he had taken the picture, then yes. So this was a picture of my stepfather's cell phone that he texted to me, and then I in turn sent to Andre.
Now, that's pretty amazing. You can use text.
Right, look at that.
And look at the quality. This is a great quality book. I'm saying, like, seriously, when I'm hearing what you just said, the process was, I'm like, this is awesome. This is a great quality book here.
I mean, Amazon did a good job.
Yeah, Amazon does a great job.
They do.
But you do have to do that process that Gloria talked about, like the $150 process for somebody to format it, because Amazon has very, not restrictive, but they have very laid out parameters, right? When you say, Gloria, correct. And so if your picture is not right, if your cover is not right, it's not going to be accepted. So it's best to get someone who knows how to do that for you. That's the part that you really have to pay for. You do have to pay for that. I mean, I wouldn't recommend anybody. I just don't think, right, Gloria? Gloria's like laughing. Right. Like, I just don't think that you're going to get anybody. I mean, you're not going to be able to do that yourself. I mean, I'm not the graphic artist, but you're not going to get somebody you're not going to be able to do it yourself to get it in the format the way Amazon wants it.
So I will say this or ask this too. Like Gloria shared with us the reason she wrote her book, her passion for solar energy and her love for her country, right? Sierra Leone. So Regina, talk to us a little bit too about your passion and your book writing.
So my passion and my book writing was around my story, around my life. And I wanted to share my life and my story. But and it's funny because I'm a talker and not a writer. Like, you know, this whole writing the book was like a whole process for me because I'm not a writer. Like, I'd rather talk to you about my situation, but I wasn't ready to talk about it. So I felt as though I needed to share about it and share about my process, you know, my process for life. Because my book is entitled Thriving with Your Scars. So my motivation was to tell my story. Because I have always heard people want to tell your story, but nobody can tell your story better than you. So I needed to tell my story the way I wanted to tell my story and not the way that somebody else wanted to share stuff about me, so to speak. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, and now I feel so comfortable. I mean, this is all part of my healing process, and I'll, you know, I can talk about that another day, but part of me writing this book was because I no longer wanted to live in guilt and shame. And I wanted to be able to, because I know that my process, I've been able to survive. I've been able to thrive with whatever I've gone through. And Cara, because she's known me for a very long time, one thing that people say to me all the time is that, Regina, you bounce back. You know, that's my podcast. But you bounce back. You're like resilient. You're like, you know, and so a lot of people who know me did not know my story. And so, and a lot of people, some of the persons that have written comments were like, Regina, I was like, I didn't know that about you. So, you know, people have very different reasons for writing their story. I think Gloria's is phenomenal. You know, it was a dissertation that you then turned into a story. I mean, you know, turned into a book about something that you were passionate about. And I think that, and, you know, I loved your PowerPoint, from passion to publishing, because that really is what it has to be about. Because it can't just be about, I'm just writing a book. Because if it's just about I'm writing a book, right, Gloria? Like, you'll get tired. You'll like, I don't feel like it today.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, and that's why I asked you that question. I think it's important for our viewers to understand it has to be something that you are passionate about, right? Whether it's your self-process, self-discovery, your journey, or, you know, the love for your country and what you think will help to, you know, build it and sustain it. But whatever it is, it's definitely has to be a driving force behind why you have decided to embark on what is not an easy journey. And, you know, Gloria made it seem so seamless and so easy, but the reality is it's not that. And there, you know, probably were stumbling blocks and things along the way that may have discouraged you, but because you were passionate about your project, right, you were able to see it through. So
correct.
Regina, go ahead, Gloria.
So I wanted to say, you know, even though the title is about community colleges and solar energy, I do have stories because I want to encourage people around the world. Mm-hmm. I have stories from students, faculty, and administrators from different community colleges, you know, their experience at a community college, because in the olden days, there was a stigma about attending a community college, but there shouldn't be any stigma. It's affordable, you know, you get the best teachers, and it prepares you for university and, you know, the next steps in life. Mm-hmm. So I felt that would be just something good for people who are on the fence. You know, what do? Do I just go straight into the workforce? And that might work for some people. You know, one of the deans who told her story, she actually started off at a community college. Hmm. So I'm glad I have that story, you know, included in the book. So people can see, yes, it can be done.
Yeah. I was going to ask both of you, but Regina, since your book's been out there a little longer, I wanted to hear you mentioned social media, but what are some of your other marketing strategies? So how have you been marketing your book?
Every social media platform, as well as I sent out an email when my book first came out. I sent out a blast email to my email list in reference to, you know, the book coming out. And so it's interesting because most of the time, my backdrop, I have a big banner that has my book cover on it. And so I have, most of the time it's like behind me. And, you know, so just those type of platforms. Gloria, what was yours?
Quite honestly, I haven't done any platforms yet. I sent out text messages to family and friends, but I will, you know, go to the social media platforms in the near future. Another thing I wanted to mention though, after I had published, one of my kids mentioned, oh, you need to get this book into the Library of Congress. So as we're talking, there might be some people who are on, you know, the cusp of publishing. So what I found out was that you have to apply for your LCCN, which is like the Library of Congress code, before publishing. Because once you've published, you cannot get that code.
Oh.
Yes, I just found that out a few days ago. However, you can donate your book to the Library of Congress, but there is a form and a process. And I guess they'll let you know whether they, you know, yes, they will accept the book donation or no, they won't. So that's just some additional information for the listeners this evening.
Oh, that's good, Gloria. And then Gloria, do you want to talk about the ISBN a little bit, or?
Sure, it was very straightforward because Amazon generated it for me.
Absolutely.
So that was part of the process. So I will tell you, once I got over the hurdle of it's so easy, and then I reduced my expectations, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder with this process. Then I was like, okay, but I definitely do appreciate Amazon's self-publishing platform. I mean, I most certainly do. In the big scheme of things, it was an easy process.
Right. I agree.
I have a question. Sorry, I don't know this, but so what is the big reason we want to be in the Library of Congress? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know what does that mean?
Oh, I don't know if there's a big reason, just bragging rights.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if that was like other than like official books, all of them are with the Library of Congress or anything.
Just bragging rights, but all dissertations, I believe, are in the Library of Congress, because one day after my dissertation was done, you know, maybe a few months later, I got this letter from the Library of Congress. You know, I'm looking at the envelope. I'm like, oh boy, what have I done? And then there was a letter letting me know that my dissertation could be found in the Library of Congress.
Okay. All right. Nice. Excellent.
I just absolutely believe, and Gloria probably will agree with me, is that everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
There's a book inside of everyone. I absolutely believe. And for the non-writing person that I am, I realize now, like I'm writing my second book. I'm writing my journal which accompanies my first book. But I just believe that everybody, you know, there's a story, there's a book inside of everybody's journey, if they're, you know, willing to go there. I know that there are people that have had health challenges, or sometimes when I hear people, when I listen to people speak, or I listen to people's stories, or even if I look on somebody's Facebook page, I was like, and it's funny, I oftentimes comment, girl, that's a story. That's a book.
Yeah.
And like, you need to get to writing, whether it's whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
Well, Cara is writing hers this weekend.
Okay, cool. I know,
Yes.
Jeanette. That's what she said. She said, "Can I write it this weekend and get published?" Yeah, you can.
I'm just gonna take all my journals and combine them, and that's gonna be my book.
And that's that's great.
It's gonna be a story. It'll be interesting.
You should do that, Cara.
Interesting.
Absolutely. And so, Gloria, did you? So my the title for my book just kind of came to me. I say it was a God thing. It was definitely a God thing for me, that of the title of my book. Well, it was a God thing, but it was also, let me just say, because a friend of mine may be watching, he's like, it was not a God thing. I preached that sermon and you stole my title.
It was God inspired.
It was God inspired. Exactly. But anyway, it definitely was God inspired, but it spoke to me. So yeah. I don't know how you came up with your title, Gloria.
My title was A Family Affair. Of course, my niece Jamila, whose experiment is in the book, and my sister Noeline. But I wanted it to resonate, to promote solar energy in Africa. There should be no power outages in that continent because they have all the solar in the world, resources. And then I wanted to promote the community colleges and teach or have courses that would promote solar energy or renewable energy. So on the news the other day, I saw where GM, General Motors US, and Ford UK, in the next few years, they're going to be done with petrol or gasoline cars, So with our heritage and our background as foreigners, we're going to retire back on the continent and we're going to ship these cars. If our labor, if our human capital is not prepared, how are these cars going to be repaired if something goes wrong? So that was part of my thinking too. We have to get the next generation ready to help us out.
Yeah. That's great. Wow.
But I do want to thank all my contributing writers that, helped me put this book together. Some of the stories are very inspirational.
Yes, and also let me just say that there's also collaboration. I don't know if that's the word, but collaboration books, or where you collaborate with a group of people on a similar topic, and everybody writes a part. That's actually how I started. That was my first publication. I was a part of a collaboration book, and I wrote a portion that kind of sparked me to that. So even if you are not, if you don't want to do your own entire book, connect with a group of, a person that may be doing a collaboration book around a topic that, is important to you.
So I got another question. So, okay, so we've talked about the book and we have the hard copy book, and then you talked about Kindle. Is the profit sharing the same for the Kindle, and are the fees how's the fee structure work for that if you have it on Kindle?
I haven't looked into that yet, but I think the profits is a lot more because you're not choosing the physical copy.
Okay.
I think most of the profits went in producing the book.
book, the hard
because Amazon does advertise that I believe the author gets 70% of the profits with the Kindle version.
And what about the audio version? Would you read? Are you going to read your own book, or how's that going to work?
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to do audio. That I will have to see.
Ooh, audio. I know.
I don't know if you're going to do audio at all.
A lot of people have want me to do audio, have encouraged me to do audio. I just haven't done it yet. I'm
really into audiobooks now because my eyes are so bad. So I've been listening to more books. I love to read, but because of vision, I listen more, and I've gotten into. I just started in the audiobooks, so so that's a whole nother game there. I guess you would have to pay someone to read your book, right?
You could read it.
Do it yourself, right?
If you didn't do it yourself. I mean, if you didn't do it yourself.
So, Gloria, you mentioned that in Sierra Leone, they don't have access to Amazon?
They do not.
So how are you marketing? How are you getting
the physical book? But if I get the Kindle version, they'll be able to download.
Oh, okay. Yes, you did say that.
Yes.
And the audio version, they could download through Audible or whatever you put.
Here we go, Cara. So in other words, Jamila and I are going to spend the summer doing our own audiobook, right?
I'm just asking about, not necessarily your book, but I'm just saying that would it only be, how does that work? If you do the audiobook, you have to find a platform for it, or does Amazon?
Amazon has the audio platform too.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, okay. That's all I was wondering.
I got to get to it myself.
You could do a chapter at a time, right? To get it done, both Gloria and Regina.
Oh, you did that? Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. I could.
You could. Yes,
I could.
I think it's a different, I think it reads, or I shouldn't say reads, it listens better when the author of the book reads it rather than someone else with a very monotone voice.
I agree.
I have found that with audiobooks that it has to be, I just finished Cicely Tyson's autobiography this week, and she read part of it, but they had whoever was reading it really sounded like her, so I was engaged the entire time.
Right.
Whereas I'm listening to this other book, and it's called The Color of Law, and I have a really good friend who's reading the book, and I'm totally excited about the book, but the monotone voice of the person reading it,
right,
I'm like, I can't get through it, and I want to because I know the book's really good. I know, but the voice, the audio is just putting me to sleep. I can't get through the material, and I'm at the point where I'm probably just going to order the hard copy and put my glasses on and read it so I can get through it. So.
Right, and like Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, I was all into it because it was her reading it.
Yep. So Regina, you're gonna have to read yours. Gloria, you're gonna have to read yours.
Okay.
That'll be excellent.
Say it again, Gloria.
No, I said that will be our summer project.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I will also tell people, or I'll mention this, and I meant to actually contact one of my friends because that's something that she does. There also are ghostwriters, right? Mm-hmm. That people that can, now that cost, they're, but, and you have to, there's a process for that. And so let me just explain. So ghostwriting is the person writes for you, mm-hmm. right? As if they're writing as you. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of interview process. You have to find the right ghostwriter. You just can't ghostwrite. You can't just find a ghostwriter online, I don't think, because the person has to really have your spirit in them. Right? Would you say that, Gloria?
I would definitely agree. And, you mentioning ghostwriters, I don't know how my name got out there, but I've been getting a lot of emails, or I should say my email address, how it got out there, but I've been getting a lot of emails with these ghostwriting offers, but I just delete them.
Wait, right. Do they want you to be the ghostwriter for them?
No, they want me to hire them as
so they go out there marketing themselves as ghostwriters.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a big time. It's big time. Because there are people that are not writers.
Mm-hmm.
But have an interesting story to tell.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's a whole market. And most times ghostwriters do not, like, in other words, if somebody is your ghostwriter, they're not going to say, oh, Regina Clay or Gloria Betts is my client, right? Because then people won't, read your story.
All right.
So, yeah, but they'll just promote themselves as ghostwriters, but they will not, most ghostwriters will not,
divulge
they won't promote you as their client.
Wow. Interesting.
Well, this was interesting to me. I don't know if I will be writing any book.
Yes, you will, Jeanette. You have a book to write.
But
do it.
I learned a lot from both of you about the process. So
yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing that information, Gloria and Regina. I feel
Thank you for having me
in writing my book this weekend. Now that we've had this discussion, my book will be out in about a month and a half.
All right.
All right now. I love it, Cara.
I just need the $500 to pay for it. So if anyone, just kidding. So no, I like the fact that does sound very affordable, and that, back in the day, I'm sure it was much harder to get a book. I'm sure you had to go out and market yourself to the publishing houses and figure out how you're going to get your book published. But today we are able to get so much more content because Amazon has made it so easy. And I wonder, are there other platforms? Is that like they have it unlocked there? Amazon is the one, or are there other platforms?
I don't know any others, but
Amazon. Yeah.
I didn't do the research.
I didn't do the research either because because everybody said the self-publishing platform is Amazon, or Kindle PDF is what it's called, or KD
Kindle Direct Publishing.
Direct
Publishing.
Yeah.
And I know that they're going to be making changes to their site because I got an email to see if I wanted to be in their beta test. And I said, I have no more books to publish. So,
come on, Gloria. You got another book in you, girl.
No, I am going to collaborate with one of my classmates from Walden University. I'm going to help him get his dissertation into a book. So that's my next project.
Very nice.
Awesome. Well, you already shared about your book. I'll hold it up one more time. But so how do you order it? You order it on Amazon? Is that?
So it's on Amazon. And if people want an autographed copy, they could reach out to you, Cara, or one of the ladies, Regina, Jeanette.
So reach out to the Good Girlfriends if you want your autographed copy.
Yes.
And Regina, how do we get your book?
Mine is on Amazon as well, and the same for me. I have copies at my house, so you can reach out to me directly if you want a signed copy.
Very nice.
So,
I will be reaching out.
Oh, okay, Gloria, and I will be reaching out as well. My sister author.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, ladies, I think that's it. We had some comments on Facebook. I'll read them. We have some that says, so excited about this. So much good information. We have a comment that says, congratulations, Gloria, on such a huge accomplishment. Thanks, Kay Dunn and team for sharing. Great information. And another comment that says, this was so on time for me. So yes, we are thankful for you ladies sharing this information. And next week, we have what will be, I think, maybe our last good girlfriends until the fall. We're planning a party, so come back. We've got a special birthday we're celebrating next week. The baby of the bunch is turning up.
So I think this was good because COVID, during the quarantine, a lot of people did self-discovery, too. And so people are writing more. I mean, I joked about, I'm not writing a book, probably won't, but other people are, right? People are tapping into their creative juices and have tapped into their creative juices during this time. So this topic was timely. Like, I'm sure that there are people that really appreciated, hearing from both you, Gloria, and Regina about this process. Hopefully we'll get some real good books as a result of COVID, right? Of quarantine.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because I think that there may be people who have suffered loss during COVID. There are people that had COVID and recovered, but have a story to tell around that. There may be people who have gone through, there's lots who have started a business.
Self-reflection, even.
Yeah, a lot of self-reflection.
Book writing, self-discovery. I mean, so this, pandemic forced people to really slow down and reflect. And folks discovered new jobs. I think, from this, there's a new industry that's developing. So this was a great topic.
Totally great.
Yeah, I believe a lot of people have been writing, because whenever I'm watching CBS in the mornings, Gail is always promoting somebody's book.
Right.
Yeah.
Or true. Someone on CNN.
Yeah.
Gloria, but you have the process down. Your PowerPoint was phenomenal.
Yes.
Thank you to Lisa Murray for helping me out.
Yes, thanks, Lisa Murray. That was great. And Gloria, would you be willing to share that with people if they want to get a copy of the PowerPoint?
Absolutely. That's why we're here.
Okay. We'll try to figure out if anyone wants a copy of the PowerPoint, let us know. We'll get you connected with Gloria so we can get that information out, because that was a lot of really good information.
Yeah,
so, Lisa interviewed me.
Oh.
Yes, so she interviewed me. She came up with a 4-page Word document, and then, we reviewed it together and then came up with the PowerPoint slide.
Wonderful.
Wow. I might have to call Lisa Murray to help me with my book.
How about that?
There you go.
She might have just created herself a ghostwriting job and didn't even know it. Yeah, that would be great. So, any other comments, ladies, before we go?
No, this was wonderful.
Right. Wonderful.
Yes, it was. So, as I mentioned, next week, come back for our party. We're having a party, and
I will.
We're going to share lots of businesses next week. We're just going to do a flush of businesses next week so that we can get as many on before we go off for the summer, and also have a lot of fun next week. So thank you all for watching, and we hope you will have a blessed week. We hope we
thank you for having me.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, Gloria.
Thank you, ladies, for having me.
Yes,
absolutely, Gloria.
Good to see you too. And Regina, thank you too for sharing your expertise.
Yes.
Really.
And everyone have a blessed week. We will see you next week.
Thank you.
Gloria, stay on.
Everyone.
Bye.
Gloria, stay on the line on the Facebook.